All right, what's up, you guys? Fitness Friday here. We decided to do something different. Hopefully everyone is staying home, staying safe. We have something interesting that we want to talk about today. Tony, what's up?
What's up?
Got you on the call?
Yep.
All right, cool, excited. So thank you to everyone that watches, everyone that's been keeping up with us and the questions that you guys send. We send out your love. So to get started right away, today, what we wanted to talk about was creating content, putting content out there, and really the importance of staying consistent while doing that. A lot of buddies of mine are fitness influencers. A lot of buddies of Tony's are fitness influencers, and it's something that's been blowing up. It's something that's been getting really big. But a common problem with a lot of people is that they start, they're really motivated, and then they stop, and they're gone for 2-3 months, and then they come back up and stop. Just because, one, they don't see either a lot of shares, a lot of likes, or a lot of comments. And just to put out there, Tony, he has been making videos for years now, for years. And he just hit a video with 1 million views, which is super legit, but it did take a couple of years. So the question is, what was the process, Tony, and what did it take, and the patience? What's the secret behind hitting your 1 million views with your videos?
Yeah, no, thanks so much. And just like Eric said, thanks to everybody that watches our videos week after week. So content is something that is really hard to do for 2 reasons. Like you said, at first, nobody's going to watch your videos. I started making fitness videos back in 2013, and nobody watched them. I didn't even watch them. And I had a podcast back then that was called the Fit Nerds Podcast, and I would get like 3 or 4 listens per episode. I started answering fitness questions on Snapchat, and I did that for a little bit. But really, it comes down to doing it on purpose and being super patient. One of the things that people sometimes don't realize is that if you have a profile that has 100 followers, 200 followers, then there's no way that your video is going to get 100,000 views or 10,000 views. It's just never going to happen. So one of the things that I did when I started getting serious about making content was I hired a content manager that would help me make consistent content. So if you're someone who's just barely getting started, you may or you may not be able to afford somebody that can help you. But if you can't, then you just have to realize that it takes a ton of work. When I first started, I was editing for hours. I was stripping audio. I was storyboarding. I was coming up with ideas. It's not just something that you can just kind of do it lightheartedly or just whenever you want. It has to be something that is deliberate, and you have to have a plan in place. Are you going to do videos weekly? Are you going to do videos daily? Where are you going to post those? What questions are you going to answer? How are you going to get questions? And that's just to build the structure of what your show or your video or your podcast is going to look like. So that's just on the content side. So I got pretty good at that, but I still didn't have good numbers. I remember the first time one of my videos hit 1,000 views, I freaked out. And for many of you guys don't know, but I have a Spanish channel, a Spanish motivation channel that is really the bulk of my higher viewed content. I have a couple of videos that collectively have over 1 million views, but it's taken years and years to do. So like you said, Eric, you have to be consistent, and you can't have unrealistic expectations. If you have under 1,000 followers on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever, there's no way that organically you're going to be able to get thousands and thousands of views. So I'll talk a little bit about paid ads in a bit, but it comes down to the same thing as fitness, nutrition, anything else. You have to do it every single day, and be patient and let the results come on their own.
Amen. Yeah, totally. I think it has a lot to do with that consistency. If you don't stay consistent, people don't see you on a day-to-day basis. It's really easy for someone to either move on to the next thing or move on to the next influencer, or because people are constantly looking, right? People are constantly trying to look, and especially in this day and age that everyone's on social media 98% of the day. If you are not putting yourself out there, whether it be like the perfect picture or the perfect video, or then they're just going to move on. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you with you about and see your take on it was creating the perfect content versus creating valuable content, but not so perfect, what, like talking light wise, talking audio wise, talking, you know, that side of things, and how important it is to just put out there, just to let yourself go and say, I'm just going to put that out there because I know that it can be of value to someone, but also it's not the picture perfect content. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So first of all, like you said, the perfect video doesn't exist. The quality of your content is subjective. No matter if you have a $5,000 camera, if you have a studio or whatever, you can make a video with a $5,000 camera and it can still be a shitty video. Like, it doesn't mean that because you have a lot of equipment that your content is going to be good. On the flip side, you can make a video on your phone, and if the content is good, then it's going to catch fire. I remember back in the day, one of the big fitness influencers was Elliot Hulse, and he started a show on YouTube. It was called Yo Elliot, and he would just, with his cell phone back in the day, it was crappy quality, just put it on a tripod. He would just answer questions in his garage gym, and now he has, you know, millions and millions of followers. So it doesn't come down to how good is the quality. It comes down to how good is the content. So if people see you, like you said, every single day, and they see that you're busy and they see that you're trying to provide content that is valuable, they'll follow you. And over time, they'll start asking you questions, and you'll start building that trust. But what a lot of people do is they won't start because they feel like they don't have the equipment. Like you said, they don't have the lighting, they don't have the team or whatever it is. And you also have to realize that, you know, you have very advanced filming equipment in your pocket. The cameras on these phones are ridiculous. Like, you don't need a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 camera. I actually, at one point, I talked to Rachel about buying, I think it was like a $3,000 camera, and we were looking at different options. And then I saw a video on YouTube where they compared the quality of a camera like that to the new iPhone, and it was basically the exact same thing. So, you know, don't think that you need thousands and thousands of dollars. You have everything to film audio, to record audio, to film videos right in your pocket. So you really don't need a ton of equipment. You just have to have consistent content that is thoughtful and that's valuable. And you have to find the proper channels to distribute it consistently so that people can, like you said, see you every single day. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yes, I think it was yesterday. I saw this post that was really interesting. And it said, it's not really about who you know that can get you far. It's about who knows you. And I took that in perspective of getting yourself out there, right? To have that one person see you, right? Because a lot of people want millions of views. A lot of people want millions and billions of eyes on them, when realistically, all you need is that one person to see you for you to blow up. Right. And also on the, you know, on the more personal side, like just affecting one life is extremely valuable. And sometimes we don't understand the impact that we make on just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 people that see our content on a day-to-day basis. Right. So it's not really a lot about who you know, but more so who can really get their eyes on you. That'll really get you farther in your content. And it's the same thing with fitness. If we start to shift this to a fitness side of things, the only way to get the results that people are looking for is through daily work, daily hustle, being consistent and being disciplined. That's nutrition wise, and it just ties in with just having to put in the work. There's no other way. You can go out, you can buy followers, you can buy all this stuff, but it'll never really get you where you want to get to organically. Right.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me to the next point, which is, if you really want to build an audience, if you really, really want to build an audience, there's only 2 ways. The first one, which there are a couple of examples that I can give. The first one is Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette is, right now, all his videos blow up. But when he first started, he's been making videos forever. And back in the day, the videos that he was posting was about him working out, and it was about like his recipes and stuff, and he didn't have any followers. Nobody cared about his content because it was just about him. So when he started to blow up, it was when he started to mention other people. He started doing like natty or not videos. And he started talking about other people's diets and other people's routines. And so that's when he blew up. So the first way that you can do, that you can actually build something is you have to bring other people into it. If nobody knows who you are, well then people know who Steve Cook is. People know who Phil Heath or Kai Green, or, you know, there's a ton of influencers. So if you want to create content, if you can have valuable commentary on their posts or on their stuff, like a Greg Doucette, and you can put your own spin on it, have your own opinions, and those opinions become valuable, then that's a way that you can build an audience. There's another example that's from the Spanish community, but there's a famous influencer that started a news show, and he wanted to be a YouTuber. So what he started to do is he was really heavy on Twitter, and he would talk about politics, and he would make good comments, hours a day, just comments and comments and comments on all the trending topics of politics, because that's the area that he wanted to be in. And at one point, a very famous senator retweeted one of his tweets. And with that, it was on the news. It was like he got invited to be on the news and all this stuff. So that kind of set him up to blow up. But again, he became a part of the community. So whether it's like a Greg Doucette, where he started off just talking about himself, and now he's part of the community because he talks about other influencers. Sometimes he talks crap on them. Sometimes he says good things. But the point is that he's there. And so that makes it more interesting, because it's not just a video of you bench pressing, but now you're talking about someone that's more famous than you. That person picks it up, shares it, and that's where the viral loop goes. If you take the Twitter example, it's the exact same thing. Somebody in a better position than you sees it, shares it, their entire community sees it, and that kind of sets the spark. So that's way number one. And way number two is you have to have money. I've probably spent on the videos that now have 1 million views collectively, I've probably spent about $1,000 each on ads. So you have to have money if you want to build it that way. And that's a whole different topic. But Facebook is really, in my opinion, the best place to start, because there is that share button. So for me, one of my videos, it's been shared over 15,000 times. And so when somebody shares your video, then whether they have 1,000 friends or 500 friends or 200 friends, those friends see it, and it kind of sets the viral loop. But if you don't post it, again, I only had about 3,000 or 4,000 followers when I started, when I made that video. And so it didn't get a lot of views because I didn't have that big of an audience. So once you boost it, if you learn how to do Facebook ads and how to boost videos, and you can put as much money as you can into it. And when I say that I put $1,000 in per video, that's over the course of like 2 years. So it's not like I put it in 1 month. It's just kind of dripping, you know, $50 here, $100 here. If I had a little extra cash, I would boost it again, another $40 or whatever. But when I started with $1 a day. But you do have to have a budget to boost it, so that people that are outside of your page, people that aren't your direct fans, can see it as well based on what they like. And if your content is good, they'll follow you.
Yeah, to get your content more out there, spreading outside of your community. Because it is hard to, and this has happened with my stuff personally, with the Acosta Gain stuff, where, and maybe you can give us a little bit more on this, it's sometimes really hard to get people's feedback and people's reaction to it. And the thing is, it ties down with patience. But a lot of times people say, oh, well, why doesn't anyone really send me questions? Or why doesn't anyone really comment on that post if it was fire, or the content was good, or it came out from the heart, you know? So it really does take strategy. It does take time. It does take a lot of effort to really get out there. And like you were saying, outside of your community, the only thing you got to do is have that one person share. And on top of that, realistically, I kind of know the number, but like straight off the bat, as harsh as it may seem, how many years do you think it takes to start to get that ball rolling? And I don't want our viewers to get scared, but like realistically, how long does it take?
Unless you have a ton of money, like if you're going to do it organically, it'll take 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years of consistent content. I'm talking about 2 to 3 videos a week.
Right.
So you have to play the long game. If you get lucky and somebody retweets you or something, it can make it faster. But if you're building from 0 followers and you're trying to build something, it's going to take years. Like I said, I was making videos back in 2013, and I'm barely now. It's 2020, and in the last year, Rachel has seen it. It's when we've seen the growth. So from 2013 to 2019, nobody cared. Nobody gave a crap about anything that I was posting. Like the likes was like my mom and dad, like sometimes.
Right.
But now we're seeing more comments, we're seeing more shares, but we're 7 years in, so it takes a really long time.
Definitely. And that's the same thing if we're tying this into the fitness and the health thing. Everybody wants that quick fix. Everybody wants those quick views. But at the end of it, if you get it quickly, it's either not real or, it's not that special in a way. Great things take time, and that is content-wise, that's fitness-wise, that's business-wise, that's anything-wise that really comes down to having a true meaning. It will take years, and that's kind of what we want to put out there today for you guys, is that if you're in it, if you want to make an impact on social media, if you're trying to build a brand, if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to get out there and be a fitness influencer, it is going to take years.
Right.
And we don't say that to, have you get scared or kind of be like, oh, well, I don't want to hear that. But the reality is that it takes hard work, it takes patience, and it just takes grinding every single day to be able to get out there. So for our followers, Tony, give us 3 simple, someone straight up just starting, bought their first iPhone 11, and they have a pretty good physique. They want to put out content out there. 3 simple steps to get that ball rolling to start with, to be able to kind of, get that content out. What would you do?
Number 1, don't worry about the quality. Just grab a tripod, grab something, and just film. And with that, have a plan. So know, are you going to post once a week, twice a week? Where are you going to post? So build out a map. It can't be random. If it's random, it's not going to work. You're either going to forget, or if motivation is high, you're going to do it. Motivation is low, you're not going to do it. And so it doesn't work. So you have to, don't worry about quality and have a plan. That's number 1. Number 2, don't make it about yourself. It can't be about just you. Unless you have won a competition, and even then I would argue it's not a good idea. Do not make it about you. It has to be about other people. It has to be trying to provide value for others. Nobody wants to watch you lift unless when they do that, they feel like they get some value because of the commentary. For example, I take Michael Hearn as an example. I watch a ton of his videos, and the dude, sometimes he just, he's benching shirtless, but in between his sets, he says things that we pick up on and that provides value. But if it were just him benching shirtless with music in the background, nobody would watch. So it can't just be about you. You have to realize that there are millions of people that have 6-packs. Nobody really cares. If you have a 6-pack, what they do care about is what can you do for them. So you have to, number 2, focus on providing value. And number 3, it would be don't cheat. You have to realize that these platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they want to keep people engaged. So they measure your content based on not only how many followers you have, but how long people watch it. Is it being shared? And a lot of different factors. So if you cheat, and if you either buy followers or you buy views, then yeah, you're going to have 50,000 followers on Instagram, but when you put a post, nobody's going to see it. So what Instagram's going to do is it's going to assume that your content sucks, and it's not going to show it to anybody. Same thing on Facebook. You can buy views or you can buy followers, but for example, if you buy views, they're really short views. So they're 3, 4, 5-second views, so that you get a lot of them really quickly. So what YouTube or Facebook thinks or picks up from that is, okay, 10,000 people saw their video, but they only watched it for 5 seconds. So therefore, it's a shitty video. I shouldn't put it in the feed, because they want to keep the best content on the feed so that people stay. So don't cheat and be patient, because if you cheat, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. No matter, you keep digging the hole deeper, and you think that you're doing good because you have good numbers, but the platform and the algorithm on the backside thinks your content sucks and it's not going to show it to anybody. And if you eventually want to get out of the hole, it's going to be super expensive because the cost per, they call it a CPM, is going to be super, super high. You're going to have to spend a ton of money to get yourself out of that hole. So those would be my 3.
There we go. There we go, you guys. Well, you guys got it. Those are 3 simple steps. It has a lot to do with, it has a lot to do with just more than posting a picture, more than posting just a video. And it takes years, it takes experience, it takes ups and it takes downs. It takes, really good posts, and it takes some posts that just don't work out. So I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to add on to this, Tony. Anything else to Chad?
No, just, if you love a certain thing, whether it's fitness or cooking or whatever it is, you have the freedom to put it out there. So have fun. That's why I'm such a big proponent of putting out content with something that you love, because it is so hard. It takes so long and it's expensive. So it has to be something that you love. And if you're talking about things that you love and things that you enjoy, you'll have fun doing it, and it won't be so much work. It'll be just play. So yeah, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Take care, you guys. Thank you, Tony.
Yep.